Hello, tubers. This is Pat Jordan coming to you from the grain ghetto in the Illinois province of the CCP. The reason why I don't do politics is because people think that there are nations. Lysander Spooner exposed that lie in the 1800s. My version is that there is a bug that runs humans like thumb puppets in order to keep the focus off of the bug. This deflection makes the stupid proletariat puppets focus on those damn Ruskies or them damn Muslims or them damn Chinese. All the while you can see that Putin and Baby Bush together on the stage look exactly like the cousins that they are. Well, you're afraid of Sharia law that might be inflicted? Daddy Bush signed the Noahide laws into the U.S., well, whatever the hell you call it, because it can't be called law, since the Yahudim FDR switched the military occupation over to the administrative state in 1947. The Qin dynasty holds several $trillion of U.S. assets. Explain to me again how a supposed foreign and hostile government can hold money and assets in another supposedly sovereign nation? The reason why is because the U.S. as a corporation in this current cycle of self-imposed debt is in receivership to China. So the talking heads nattering about politics of their fake independent nations or the relations between rival nations are so religiously polarized as to be blinded by sticking tetanus-covered spikes into their own eyes. China does not exist. It's bug central. The U.S. does not exist. It's bug central. Russia does not exist. It's bug central. That's because it is a hive and the world is too damn stupid and distracted to see the real threat. Take a look at the pictures. If you get off of your diarrhea-stained pity potty about how food prices are going up all around the world because of the floods in China, then take a look at the pictures. You will see the truth with your own eyes and your own minds. Unplug from the hive for gosling's sake. China is being inundated with floods that have never occurred in the past 4,000 fucking years. And Fuking is not a province in China. What this means, if you are not a thumb puppet ape yourself, is that whatever is in control of the planet, posing as a Chinese government, is wiping out what are falsely called its own people. So China is not your enemy. Asians are not your enemy. They're being killed by what is supposedly their own people, their own government. Or not. If it is a bug that runs a hive, then the hive is merely pruning their herds all over the world. So if starving out the Chinese makes your price of food go up so that you starve too, then bonus! It's called disaster capitalism, where anything bad is a win. What it's really called is parasitic predation and saprophytes living off the dead. The reason why they kill is because it is their life. They can't exist without killing. So while you're obsessed about the nebulous fiction of the Chinese and what they are doing and their economy or politics or whatever, you're missing the complete point that even the leaders of China are nothing more than thumb puppet human husks run by a bug that needs a good spraying. Let's say for the sake of argument that it was those damn Ruskies using weather warfare on U.S. soil to steer hurricanes or F5 tornadoes. Wouldn't that be an act of war? Not if the U.S. is hive and Russia is hive, so it would just be hive doing hive things to what they consider pests. If they were to play within their own supposed rules, then for the U.S. to create a natural disaster would be an act of war. But if the Russians did it on their own soil, on what is falsely called its own people, then it's perfectly fine. I doubt that even half of a percent of people will get what I'm saying. Since the US is hive and Russia is hive and China is hive, then even if a foreign power rained down hell on a different continent within the hive hell, it still wouldn't be an act of war because they're just pissing with themselves, with you as collateral damage. The Three Gorges Dam was dammed from its beginning because the reservoir created an epidemic of schistosome parasites within the entire floodplain. With this much water and shit flowing everywhere currently, I'm amazed that there aren't reports of mass deaths never seen before in the history of the world. If they don't die, then they will be so debilitated from parasites that their lives are pretty much over. And just when have you seen or heard accurate news coming from the US, Russia, or China? How can the Chinese be the bad guy when the Chinese are murdering their own people with weather warfare? The victims can't be the perpetrators of the crime. Just who are these Chinese? The starving peasants with schistosomiasis, or their so-called leaders? Or could it be the universal bug in the head of every husk that was placed, or should I say, allowed to be put in places of power, so that they could fuck up the entire life support system for all mankind, animal kind, and fishy kind, and planty kind? In alternative media for 13 years, the lie was told that China would be taking over the world. Or is it something else taking over the entire world, including China with it? If the entire central region of China is being destroyed with its people, then maybe the ones doing this weren't Chinese to begin with. Maybe they weren't even human. This is why I don't do politics or world theater analysis. Only biology will get us out of this mess. They say that Trudeau is pro-China, but what he really is a puppet pushing the communist agenda for nations that had the Brave New World model of social control instead of the 1984 totalitarianism. They're just trying to get the whole world under the same shtetl. Capitalism is fascism, is democracy, is dictatorship, is socialism, is communism, is capitalism. If you don't get that continuum, then you will be flooded, starved, and killed. Oops, too late.